Hi everybody, it's Andy Pancholi here from the Market Timing Report, and it's just gone 8 minutes past 9 in the evening here in the United Kingdom, which means the US markets just closed at 8 minutes ago and the futures are still trading. But I want to bring you an important update on what's going on, and I'm sending this video out to everybody, not just the subscribers. So we've got some key information for you, and also for those of you who are not familiar with this work, you can see how we call this market top. Okay, so as I said, we're just after the close. This is exactly what's happened. We saw a high come in, we saw a high open and a down day bar there. And the S&P is closed down 182 points or 271 basis points, 2.71%. So it's a big day. We've taken all these bars out here. And the key point is that we've not only taken this small swing out here, we've actually closed here. That's the lowest close really since all the way back here. So this is quite a significant turning point. And that's why I'm putting this video out. So followers of the report, you saw this already. This was published on the 29th of September, and I'll show you how we got this key date momentarily for those of you who are new. As I say, I'm talking to all of you really here. This was published on the 29th. We gave you the key date of the 9th of October. There are some more dates coming up. And the key target price, which was published there on page 28, 6799, came in yesterday. This is a really key concept to using this report and how it can really give you tremendous gains and advantages, or help you protect your portfolios. So the key point here was that we hit a key price level on a key turning point date, and our forecast actually there 6799, and yesterday's high, intraday high, was 6812, and that was within 0.2%. It's actually 0.19% of our target. So we know this was a very, very critical day. So, that is incredibly important. Well, how did we get this date? For those of you who don't know, most of you will know, but we have our histogram system, and it works in different time frames. Very simply, don't worry about this. We do all the calculations for you. But here's actually a monthly chart, a weekly chart of the S&P 500. And these peaks here are known in advance, right? And as you can see that, well, the future ones there are, because the subscribers have paid for this, so I'm not going to give them all away. But basically, for those of you who are not familiar, where we see these peaks known in advance, we can be prepared for a turn. And we look at them in different time frames. And this is the key one here. This is the one, this time frame's coming in right now. This is a daily chart. Just to give you an idea, you can see here how these points here identified lows and highs. And I know some of you will say, well, what about the other ones? We actually use a multiple set, and we get these key dates and we give them to you directly in the report. So you don't have to work this out. I'll put the histograms in there and so you can see them. But the 9th of October, as you saw, was a very, very important date. And that's exactly what happened there. That's this turn we're seeing. The high came in yesterday. Today was the sell-off. Now, for those of you who've been following my work, you will know that I had you on alert for this, because VIX buying, VIX, the smart money. Well, what is VIX? For those of you who are not familiar, it's like buying insurance for an increase in volatility. So typically when a market's going up, the VIX is dropping, and basically the VIX then goes racing up. Now, we've got a proprietary index here, and when this gets to 100, we tend to look, there are other factors in it as well, but when it gets to 100, we look at a lot of other data sets. I've just given you a snapshot here. We can be ready and prepared for a potential immediate sell-off. And that's what we were looking at very recently. We were up there. And the last time this happened was just before the pandemic. So it might be something big. We're on the verge of something big. But, we're not all about guessing and sort of, just taking risks. We follow the market, and we do what the market tells us. So what's next? So this really, for those of you who are subscribing, this is the update here. It's used for everybody. The key targets, the short-term targets. Well, right now, today on the 10th, the key point came in yesterday. The 10th was that we closed at this sort of level here, 6552. There it is, 6551, the 38.2% level. So the next one down, which will be a very important one, is 6487.22, then 61.8% level, 6423. These are the short-term levels. Now, because we have actually hit the 38.2% level, there is a possibility we get a bounce when the market opens. But there are some pretty funky geopolitical cycles over the weekend. So if anything kicks off, then we might see a further move down and a gap down. And if that happens, then basically what we're seeing is that the bigger picture is this. We are seeing these huge cycles there. So this is the low way back. This is the tariff low. Remember, those of you who have been with us, we nailed the tariff top. We had the masterclass that got you prepared a couple of weeks in advance for that. And as I say, I've been warning you just generally. We didn't call a masterclass this time, but those of you who've got the trading course knew about these levels. So basically, if we see something more significant kick off in the world, now there's a lot of stuff to talk about Taiwan today as well. As I say, this is being filmed on the 10th now after the close. This is going to be a major level, 63.03, okay, and you can see there's a little bit of support there. Then 38.2 takes us here. 50% is always an important level, and you know, look, you can see there was a gap there. There was a breakaway gap. So, you know, for those of you who are chartists or whatever, you know, we talk about all this in the report as well. And then this level here, so 55.67 would be another important level if we carry on down. But as I say, we want to see what the market does here, whether it pops up from here. Is this just a one-off thing, or are we going to go down? This is very impulsive to the downside. So this is really telling us that things aren't looking great. But you never know. You know, those who intervene in markets, I'm not going to mention any names because it's a very polarizing thing, could do something over the weekend to try and stop this from heading any further. So basically, that's that. And basically, the latest report is out now. In that, we also have all the key analysis of not just the S&P 500, but we've got crude oil, gold, the dollar index, euro, and Bitcoin, the key turning points in there. We've got the charts. We've got a couple of very interesting articles there about there's a country that's about to implode based on cycles. So you can find out more. You can join us immediately, markettimingreport.com. But if you look below, there's the exact link that can take you straight through to the page where you can subscribe. And if you're new, if you've not tried the report before, there's a 28-day trial for new subscribers. So it's all in the link below, or you can go to markettimingreport.com. And remember, I mean, today's the 10th, so if you were to have a go at this, not only will you get this month's report, you'll also get next month's report as well, and just make sure you cancel within your 28 days. So that is it. That's important. You can see how it's all come together, and I wanted to put this out right now so that you can be prepared over the weekend for what happens on Monday.